Hello, it's nice to see you today. Thank you for stopping in. I'm Jafari.
Nice to meet you, Jafari. Nice handshake. This is, Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. I went ahead and got you some water and cookies today, just while we chat.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and take a seat. Okay, well, we will go ahead and just start with the questions today. I know your time is limited. So, what first sparked your interest in psychology?
Everything started when I enrolled at Stanford University. My major was English, but I was not very successful in my classes. My grades were so awful that after one semester, I switched to the study of psychology. A good friend of mine, Louis Terman, studied with me and had a big impact on my passion for psych. He was probably my biggest influence, and he pushed me to where I am today.
How did your career first begin?
One second, I need a sip of water. After I graduated with my PhD, I was offered a position at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Go Badgers! I performed a lot of social isolation experiments at the primate laboratory I set up. My studying focused mainly on primate intelligence, memory, and their ability to learn learning sets. A lot of my students refer to me as the monkey man, which I find very funny. I love monkeys.
Okay, and what else?
My monkey experiment?
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. So I'm trying to picture this here. Can you go about explaining your so-called monkey experiment?
It was simply to test maternal deprivation in rhesus monkeys. This is a rhesus monkey. Say hi, Jackson. And the evolving science of attachment. I compared these experimental subjects to children as major statements about love and development in human beings.
Okay, and so how did you go about testing this?
Well, I separated infant monkeys from their mothers a few hours after birth, and then placed them with two kinds of surrogate monkeys, or mother machines. One was out of wire that provided food, like milk or bananas, and the other was made out of cloth. We tested to see what their first reaction was to each of the mothers. Someone would go straight to the wire mother, but would always end up going back to the cloth mother.
And so then what were your overall findings? Just that?
Well, my first observation was the baby monkeys spent far more time clinging to the cloth surrogate mother, even when their physical nourishment came from the mother made of bare wire. This suggested that infant love was not as simple of a response as to the satisfaction of their needs. Their attachment was not based off of hunger or thirst, but the feeling of comfort, developing safe, secure, and supportive emotional bonds with caregivers during childhood directly affects growth and the development of the child.
And so, how were you convinced that the emotional attachment itself was made from the developmental difference in these monkeys?
When the experimental subjects were frightened by strange loud objects such as drums, most monkeys made their way to the cloth surrogate, making body contact with the mother. They rubbed against them, and they eventually calmed down. However, the monkeys raised by the wire mother threw themselves on the floor, rocked back and forth, and screamed in terror. These actions closely resembled the behaviors of deprived human children. In my opinion, The attachment between the baby monkeys and their surrogate mothers could not have performed more dramatically.
Okay. And why would you want to conduct an experiment like this?
Well, the experiment came to me when I was developing the Wisconsin General Testing Apparatus to study the mental processes of primates, which include memory, cognition, and learning. As I developed these tests, I realized that monkeys I worked with were slowly learning to develop strategies around my test. To understand how this happens, I wanted to start to study developing primates, taking them early from their biological mothers. This further inspired me to look into how surrogate mothers can be a replacement for the affection that should be given from the biological mothers. Furthermore, I also wanted to learn whether the bond was established because of pure nourishment like milk or if it evolved around other factors such as comfort.
Well, it's a very interesting study you have going on here, Dr. Harlow, and I think that's all really that I have for you today, but once again, thank you for stopping in, and I will show you the door. Thank you again, Dr. Harlow. You are quite the interesting man.
Thank you.
I will see you next.